Going live. I've got to get connected on my own machine, on my other. We're actually recording on one iPad, and I'll be reviewing it on the other iPad. So, while I get set up, I haven't done this for a long time, so while I get set up, um, you'll just have to sort of wait for me. But in the meantime, I'll be waiting for some of you to join in. I don't know why I'm suddenly coughing a lot. There we are. There's my join in. Okay, there we go. I don't know why I'm suddenly coughing a lot. Yeah, now it works. There's my join in. Okay, there we go. I don't know. Live chat says one person watching. That's me. Now it works. There's my join in. Okay, there we go. So I'm the only one watching my live chat. One person watching. That's me. I got to hold this up here so I can see what I look like. So I'm the only one watching my live chat. One person watching. That's me. I can adjust my seating, but I can't really adjust the camera angle much. It's sitting on the dash between the front window, the windshield. Okay, we're now got 3 people in here. It's sitting on the dash. Isabel. Between the front window, the windshield. Okay, I've hesitated to do these any one kind of video like this where I'm just talking. I've hesitated to. I shouldn't say I've hesitated. The word is I haven't done it. What's held me back is that I didn't want to be complaining. It might, I didn't want to appear to be complaining or discussing some of the extreme difficulties I've been through for the last year and a half. It might, I didn't want to appear to be complaining. Okay, I don't know how much I've missed. So let's go back to 2020, which was a year of COVID, shutdowns, and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I had basically stayed inside. I wasn't getting much exercise. And my leg was numb, but it was numb in a manner that was similar to what happened to me in my 40s. I had sciatic nerve problems. As long as I exercised, that sciatic nerve issue would go away. As long as I looked after myself and spent a bit of time moving a little bit. So I would spend my time in the park doing little exercises that I thought might help. But my legs stayed numb, and I don't know why or anything. I went to the doctor, which I finally did, or I had put off partly because of COVID. I thought doctors were way too busy, and that maybe my numb foot was not really a big problem. Because, like I said, the sciatic nerve issue that had caused it in the past would simply go away, and I'd be strong and healthy afterwards. And I'm kind of an optimistic guy, thinking that my body will generally heal itself. So it wasn't until very early 2021 that I went to a doctor. And by that time, I was using crutches. So I walked into the doctor's office with crutches, and he had a look at me, and he thought it was a nerve issue, but he thought it was the nerve issue that related to my back, because I told him about my sciatic problems before. So he sent me to a back surgeon. Can't remember what you call him. It was a surgeon that would work on back pain. And that guy saw me and said, well, you've got no problem. But it looks like the ligament in your knee is broken. So I'm going to send you to a knee surgeon. Well, already I had been 2 months waiting. I'd already waited for like 6 months to see the doctor. And then I had waited another 2 months to see the surgeon. And then that surgeon sent me to somebody who was going to look after my knee, the ligament in my knee, another surgeon. So I waited 10 months to see the knee surgeon, who promptly, in about 5 minutes, discovered that, looking at the x-rays, etc., that I did not need, what do you call it? It didn't look like I needed, he could fix my ligament because the ligament wasn't ripped or torn. So he sent me to an ultrasound. And then I went back to see him, and he said, well, there's nothing I can do because there's no problem that I can work on. I'm going to send you to a nerve doctor, what do you call him? Neurologist. So now I'm waiting for, I got another week, which was another month waiting to get an appointment with the next doctor. So if you kind of follow it, if you added up all these months, I've been over a year visiting doctors, all of whom can do nothing and cannot diagnose the problem, and I'm getting no treatment. So I live in my bus, and I've been fine up until about a month ago. Now I'm worried. In fact, I've had trouble getting back into my bus because the step is too high. And I'm not even sure I can move up from one step to the next without pulling myself up by, by keeping my arm on like a kitchen cabinet and on anchors that will hold me up in the air. Then if I do get back in, that'd be great because that's kind of normal. But I've basically been in my bus now for a month and I haven't left it. I have friends bringing me food and things like that. But I haven't left it because I'm not sure I can get back in. In other words, I can't even get into a cab, go to the doctor's office, come back, and get back into my bus for sure. I'm thinking about a way to, put my seat on each step and move and push myself up step by step. But I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do that. Since I'm like 180 pounds probably, which is 20 pounds lighter than normal. I can't. I don't know. I don't know any young men that are strong that can just pick me up. Almost all the people I know are older or not in good shape, etc. Not used to picking up something as heavy as me. So I'm not even sure I have a friend who can help me get into my bus or help me get up if I fall down. At one time I fell out of my wheelchair on the street. On the street. I was just off the curb. I wasn't paying attention. I went off the curb and went right off the front of my wheelchair. Smashed both knees. And since the legs are numb, they don't actually move. When I try to move them, in other words, if I was to fall and one foot was on top of the other, I have to reach back with my arm, grab my pants, pick that leg up, and put it down beside the other one. So they don't actually move with any power in any direction. So I'm essentially like a cripple. I'm in danger whenever I fall. and I have to have people come along. I had two people pick me up and put me in the wheelchair that day, but you know, I'm afraid every time I go out, I have the potential of breaking my leg just doing ordinary, like what I would think would be ordinary, safe things in a wheelchair. So, I'm now looking for housing in my province. I'm, I think I'm registered with the provincial government subsidized housing organization, but I say I think because it's really hard to confirm these things. And most days I spend at least the entire morning waiting for some government agency to answer um, the phone line. In other words, I've had one of them an hour and a half every time I make a phone call. So, in other words, I sit on hold for an hour and a half, which is probably not good for my body because I need to be up and about, but I can't be up and about and answer my phone because I can't move quickly. I can only move my feet um, safely if I move each foot about 6 inches or half the length of my foot. In other words, I move them very slowly and ploddingly. I put this one down, make sure the leg is straight and strong. Then put this one down, make sure the leg is straight and strong. And to get to my bed, which is, it starts only 6 feet um, behind this seat here, which is the driver's seat. To get there, I'd probably take 18 steps, and a couple of years ago it'd be 3 steps. So it just gives you an idea what my life is like now. So I'm providing people with an update because at this point I've been over a year without a diagnosis and without treatment. For my entire life, I thought my medical plan was awesome because anytime I had a problem, I would go to the hospital, they'd fix me, and I'd go home. And I never had to wait long for a doctor's appointment. But as soon as I got into this, the wait lists for each of the specialists, I've discovered that, you can waste away. When I started, I had one leg numb. Now I have both legs numb. When I started with the medical system, I had the ability to move around, etc. And now I have no mobility whatsoever, no easy and confident mobility whatsoever. If I was in a house or a apartment with stairs, I'd be in real trouble. I mean, I've got stairs, but I don't have uh, a small set that I can travel up and down. I've got 3 steps now, but if you had like a dozen steps, life would be unlivable. And one of the things that I'm surprised at is that there are all of these government agencies which are designed to help people, and there's some of them that are special for seniors. Almost all of them, when I talk to them, I'm talking to a call center. I'm not talking to somebody who actually does something. I'm talking to somebody who refers me to somebody else. And generally, the person they refer me to does nothing except refer people to other people. Seems to be a huge number of people employed in that profession, social services or whatever you'd call it. Seems to be a huge number of them employed who do not actually do anything. I don't know how to put it. I had each of these locations would send me phone numbers, and I've got them. I would take the referrals and phone the referrals, and the referrals would generally be a referral to another person who might refer me somewhere else. And they were actually had lists of things. Well, if the guy's got this problem, refer him here. And then when you get to that phone number, they'd have a different list. But still, I'm phoning list after list, but not people who actually do things. So I'm the most frustrated human being on the planet at the moment. I don't know what I mean, I hope the neurologist has some sort of solution for my nerves. But there are, what do you call them? There are conditions like myopathy, which I've read about, and could be my problem, where because my muscles are deteriorating. They're getting very small and very weak. Day after day, they're getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And now my legs will not hold me up unless I'm holding on to something. I could have some crutches, but once you start to fall with crutches, you're screwed. If I'm walking up and down my bus, I've got a countertop on one side, a table on the other. They both stabilize me so that I can make it back to my bed. Anyway, I came on live. I wanted to make sure people knew I was still alive and got some idea of what's going on. So now I'm going to read a little bit about who's online, etc. I actually have to create like, I have to zoom in a little bit in order to be able to read. Now I've got that on. Got. Wonder if I can make that a bit wider. Zoom into resize lens. This gives me a lens that will blow up my what do you call it? Blow up the comments. So now I can read through some of these. So we have, I'll go back to the beginning. Well, maybe not the beginning because there's quite a few. Yeah, people ask me how I am, but now that I've told you, you probably hope you bounce back really soon. Kiva, I think that would be nice too. In fact, part of the reason I've been so patient is that I always thought that it was going to be just a doctor, correcting the ligament, fixing my knee, and then I'd be back, more or less back to normal after a little bit of rehab. But that's not the case. Alberta Schooley, how are you doing? Well, I think you got an idea. And given the content so far, it's pretty deep. Well, I think for most people it's pretty depressing to hear. Where a lot of you know my friend Jeffy Bear, and it's kind of funny because some days I'm jealous. I'm jealous because he's gotten some treatment and he's moving ahead instead of being in a situation like mine with, I mean, he's got no legs, so he's like got two 40-pound legs he doesn't have to carry around. I've got two legs that are essentially useless. And, when I'm getting in my bed, I use two hands, push down and move my butt, much like a chimpanzee or whatever. But if I don't have my feet on some elevated device, then I'm pushing down and picking up a heavy body plus these heavy extra legs that are kind of useless. But when I put my legs up on a stool, then I can pop along really quick and really easy. So it might sound dumb, but I'm sometimes a little bit jealous of Jeffy Bear because I mean, I may not lose my legs, but I may not gain much usefulness for them either. And yet they don't know what's wrong with me. They have no idea. Hope turns out okay for you. Well, I agree with you, but I am online because a lot of people have asked me how I'm doing. And this particular van life has been great. In fact, I still don't mind living in my vehicle. My problem is that I won't, in time I won't be able to drive. My legs will become relatively useless. It's kind of funny because my entire leg is numb. My foot's numb, but I can move my foot back and forth like this, which runs the gas. But when I'm using the brake, I don't have as much power to push on the brake pedal. Van life is... Yeah, there's a lot of people just coming in and saying hi. Sorry about putting my face into the other iPad. Lots of people coming in and saying hi, not many questions, but then there's not much I can answer. I kind of wish I could tell you what is wrong with me, but it's mysterious. No one knows, and I don't know. And I've hated the idea of coming online and whining and complaining. I, haven't been able to keep myself clean. My hair, I smoke, so I've got a lot of nicotine in my hair. Haven't shaved because I haven't been, just haven't been interested. I'm a little depressed in terms of keeping myself looking good. Yeah, I don't know. Life is grand, but it's not. I mean, I'm at the beach with an incredibly beautiful view. Maybe I can just turn this down so. So I've got a great view. I've got when the weather's good, it's awesome here. But I can't get out and enjoy it. When the weather's good, it's awesome. Can't do much out there. So I just wanted to do an update, and because I'm not upbeat and I don't have anything really positive to tell you, I kept thinking I'd see the doctor and then I'd be able to, like I would only be sort of offline for a few months. And then I could say, well, I saw the doctor and it was just my ligament and he's going to fix it on Tuesday. And then, from then on, I'd be back to normal. So I've always been very positive about my future until I talked to who was it? It was the knee doctor, or I forget what they call them. They work on joints. Until I talked to him, and he told me I might have myopathy, or I think that's what you call it. I always felt that I was just going to get a knee operation and I'd be back to normal. But as soon as I talked to him, myopathy is a degenerative disease. There's no actual known cure for it, or at least it does, not that I know of. So I can be, and this is my fourth doctor. If he doesn't diagnose the problem, then I'm not sure. I don't know what kind of. I mean, if they don't know the problem, they don't provide treatment. So here I am, no treatment, nothing going on. So this issue has been going on for almost 2 years. First little while was me not paying attention to it, or not giving it the attention it deserved. But since then, it's been over a year, and the medical profession has not been able to be efficient at diagnosing my problem. I don't even know what the solution is, because when I talk to the doctor, they go, well, that's the system. Anyhow, love you guys. I wish I could be making videos. I wish I could be more positive. I wish I could give you more positive news. But, if you're watching Jeffy Bear, just go, well, yeah, I guess it's in the same boat. Anyway, have a great day. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for spending a bit of time with me. And thanks for your interest. I'm now going to shut this off somehow. Look at that. Look at that old man's face. Wonder how I turned it off. Old man's face. Wonder how I turned it off. Old man's face. There's no button. Live chat, man. There's no button. Oh, here's a button. Live chat, man. Save, highlight, share, mute. Save, highlight, share, mute. Save, highlight, share. Look at that. There's no way for me to turn. Oh, there it is. It's an X up in the upper right-hand corner.